welcome to my game development stream. This time I'm actually on time, which is amazing. My internet is working apparently, so everything's good. This is a stream about e-gamebook, which is, let's see if this works. Which is this game, and it is text, but at the very deep insides, it is actually simulated as if it was something like Dwarf Fortress or Skyrim. Anything that has rich simulation. It's not just a choose your own adventure story or choose your path story. This time, so this is for those of you 0 people that actually one person is watching who haven't seen any of these yet, and I'm just going to go straight to programming because I don't want to waste time. I have this game is actually the most of the time I see it as this in like the command line, and today we're going to solve the problem of basically in the game it is very, very possible and actually quite easy, maybe too easy to lose your eyes. Someone pokes eyes off of either you or someone else, like you can poke someone else's eyes off, and then so that means that we have quite often a combat which involves someone who is not seeing anything, and that's kind of a thing that I think makes the combat more interesting. Again, for those who haven't watched this stream yet, this is more about like literary combat where things that are kind of like ridiculously over the top happen, instead of the more video game combat where you're like slashing someone and basically removing their hit points until their hit points hit 0 and then they die, right? So this thing is where you kind of like you slash their arm, they drop their sword, but they punch you in the face and you fall down, that kind of combat. So anyway, so we have this, and we have the fact that you can lose your eyes, and your enemies can lose their eyes, and we need to somehow figure out like how do we, like what do we do then? It's obvious that someone who loses their eyes during combat is probably going to have a bad time, and that's okay, but we just don't want them to kind of stand around doing nothing, and that's what happens right now often, actually maybe all the time. So I'm going to do that, but before I want to address a bug that may be actually related to this, and the cool part is that this bug was caught by my automated system. So if you go to gamebook.com, you can see that the build is failing right now, and that is because every, I think, week or even every day I'm running this like build script which runs the game, and it does random stuff in the game and tries to break it basically. And this time it happened. It actually broke the build, and so I want to first make sure that that particular problem will not appear again. So if I go to I use Travis for this. If I go to the log, I can see that it was running the fuzzy test that I have set up, and some of it worked well, but then at some point one of the walkthroughs ended up with crashing error. I mean, it wouldn't be crashing for like in production, because we are in production, we kind of let it go, because this is not a problem that is actually has to crash your app. It's basically At some point, one of the actors in the game had nothing to do, and that is a problem. This game is based on like basically everything that changes in the game needs to go through someone's actions, and in this case, basically someone, and I'm not sure who yet, was just without actions. So thankfully, I just implemented also something that is basically it's emitting the save game just before some crash happened. So I have this, and I actually already copied it into my copy, my development copy here. And again, I did not switch to the scene where you can actually see what I'm doing. So sorry about that. Hey Venathos, hello, and thanks for rejoining the stream. And I know that it's not a very easy time for you. Hearing loss is something that we're not implementing yet, and hopefully, maybe I can avoid to simulate hearing as well. Yes. So let's see what we have here. So I put that's what I do when I have a bug report or something. I have it. I can add it here, and then I can run the game in my development environment and see what happens. And I immediately see that when I load the game just before the crash, obviously I get the crash. And this is actually very cool because I can you see this? Yeah. Hey Philip, you can see what happened and to whom. So this is where the who is this? So it seems like the goblin is trying to do something and has nothing to do, which is a problem. While the player obviously is the player. And what else can we see about this? We can inspect anything, but I am wondering, yeah, like the recommendations are just like there's nothing. So let's see. I wanna know. Oh yeah, I wanna know. The situation is fight situation. What's wrong with what's wrong with the goblin? Why can't he just attack? Come on, goblin. He's off balance. Yeah, whatever. He's in the right team. He's not confused. He's active. He has nothing. Okay. Okay. So he doesn't have any weapons. And what about his anatomy? So he doesn't have crippled legs. He doesn't have healthy legs either. He is not blind. What is wrong with you? So this is the torso and the anatomy. This is basically where I model the whole humanoid body from it starts with the torso and goes to anything that is attached to the torso. For example, neck. But damn, what's wrong? Why can't you just attack, man? Okay, let's try to stop the simulation somewhere else. Let's try to stop it here. Okay. So, is it the same one? Do we have the goblin actor? Yep. just making sure that the regs are, yes. Okay, so let's start it once again. So somewhere in this call, if we go inside, we are getting 0 recommendations. Okay. First action scores is empty. Oh, what? Oh, because we should be here actually. Okay. So this is just get recommendation will just make like the scoring of the recommendations, but here is where we actually plan the whole thing, right? Yes. So once again, let's start again. So we are still doing the goblin, and the current actor. This is the context. This is helpful for like finding out what's happening, and then we are generating all performances. Let's see if we can find out. So these are the different actions. I'm going through this like very deeply just to kind of remind myself of how all of this works, but also it's more educational than if I just like start slashing at the problem. Okay, so now we're asking the simulation basically, hey, what actions can the goblin do in this situation? Yeah, so the first action is start clash, right? And so on. So we can go outside, step out. And what do we do here? First action scores. Yeah, that's basically we just jumped out of it completely. Damn, we need to restart again. Why can't he, for example, just one of the, so there's some action somewhere where it's saying like, hey, we have like this goblin can't do that now, and I need to figure out how which action it is, and is that valid that he can do that, and if it is valid, then make a different action which would be valid in this case, or if it's not valid, then just fix it. Or allow the goblin to do this action. Right. Okay, so we went all the way through this. Generate all performances. Yeah, I think this is where we want to be. What are the actions? Yeah, okay. All right. So once again, let's start. It's cool that we have the save game because otherwise we would be kind of screwed. So let's see what the current situation tells us are the actions. So we find out what the current situation is. And the actions are all these, right? So this is the main situation where like you can do basically anything. It's not one of those where it's like, oh, you're reacting to someone attacking you. Which would be, for example, thrust defense situation. As you can see, hopefully, yes. So all of these are unavailable for little goblin, and I want to know why. Yeah, let's let me step out of this. I never know how to. Step out is Shift 8. Okay. So yeah, we don't want to go through all this, do we? This is again, I'm pretty sure this is the start clash action. Okay, let's see. Why can't we just have he is barehanded. Why can't he just punch us? Right? Oh, wait a minute. I can also. So in the world, if we look at the world, where is the enemy? From Goblin's perspective, the enemy is us. So or the player. So if you look at the actor, that would be something around here. That's Leroy. Is he? No, he's in the hut. This is the goblin. This is Aaron. Okay, that's the player. Okay, okay, so he's on the ground. Why can't the goblin? Oh, okay, now I understand. So we have a goblin, and as we know from previously, the goblin is barehanded, so he can just slash or thrust on the ground. And he is also, he's not totally crippled with his legs, but one of his legs is crippled. And in this scenario, if you have healthy legs, you're like, okay, I want to kick, for example, the player's sword off their hands, because I'm assuming the player is holding a sword. No? Oh man, I haven't seen this in a long time. Where is the sword? Where is the current weapon? Come on. I'm not. Oh, okay. Current weapon, yes. A sword. Okay. So we want to. Okay, we're happy that the goblin is not kicking at the sword, because that would be weird. If you have crippled, one of the legs is crippled, then you're not kicking any swords. So we need to find out what else can the goblin do. So the goblin, if you're unarmed and you're unarmed and the other person is on the ground, you can punch them. You can really just kick at them, right? The other option for poor goblin is to just like kind of leap at us, at the player. Yeah, which is probably what we'll do, and the player can basically just impale them or try to dodge. Yeah. Okay, so then that means that leap is now a thing that you can do when someone's on the ground. It should probably be even harder to pull off. And the leaping. So normally, if you leap on someone who is standing, the benefit of this is that they will fall down to the floor with you, and then you can wrestle for weapon and stuff like this. In this case, basically, there is no benefit of leaping on someone on the ground, except then later you can wrestle for the weapon. Sucks to be goblin right now, but that's what we'll do. Okay, I see some messages. Yeah, it's hard to compromise between simulation and story direction. Vanathos, isn't it possible for you to use conditional breakpoints? Yes, it is. I was think that's how I do it. You could be like, action name equals something, but yeah. So I was considering that, but not for this particular bug. Yeah, we kind of didn't know what we were looking for, and I had to kind of visualize the problem. That's something that I should have done before, is like actually read the whole history of what happened, and then I would probably understand, oh, he's on the ground and so on. But yeah, maybe actually let me put this down. Like, is there a better way to find bugs like the crasher today? For example, I can imagine that, like well, I do log these things, so maybe like query the log for what actions were considered and were unavailable. Because that would mean for me, that would mean I would just like scroll through the log and would be like, hey, why like what was rejected, and I would see all the things that I can imagine. Oh, okay, yeah, that's rejected, and then I would see kicking. Anything is rejected as well, and maybe that would put me on the right route. Maybe just visualizing the situation would be better. Like at this point, like the thing that actually led me to understand what's going on was when I looked at the state of the story, and I immediately understood, oh, okay, of course he has one leg crippled and the other person is on the ground. Okay. Yeah. The past, normally I get so Vanathis is asking why not have the past 2 turns and see like what's happening. That would maybe not help in this situation, because the past 2 turns were probably not when the goblin lost his leg, but I still like sometimes it's very valuable to be able to kind of step through it, and I do that, except I don't do that here. When I'm running on the continuous integration, I just have one save game. Anyway, let's go fixing. Let's go to fix things. So we need, yes, we said we would want to start leap. Should be possible even if the enemy is on the ground. And now, okay, so that's one thing. Yeah, on the ground, leaps. Okay, so we are we will be in this leap situation and in this leap defense situation. I just want to make sure that first dodge leap like emits the right kind of language. Tries to yeah, so for example, sidestepping is out of the question when you're on the ground. So now, like, we have to understand the person who is being leaped at is can be on the ground, which they couldn't before. So now I wonder. I will just do the easiest thing, to be honest. So the pose is not off the balance. Yeah, and now I'm thinking like there should be something that you get from. Oh, maybe not. Like, why would you? Oh, yes, yes, I understand. So yeah, you would want to leap on someone without them, basically, impaling you. So if he here it's written in a way that's like, why did you tries to dodge. Why would you dodge when you're, oh yeah, well, you don't want to, yeah, that's okay. Fails to dodge, and if it's a success, and again, we can't do this, unfortunately, and yeah. So the enemy can, so the goblin can crash or fall or hits the ground. That's fine. Okay. What about this? Oh. Okay. What about impale? Also, dodging means moving my body out of the harm's way. Once I miss and hit the ground beside me. Okay. I can move my weapon to point at the attacker. If successful, the weapon will pierce the attacker with the force of his own leap. Cool. Impale. I try to move my weapon between myself and the goblin. This will not happen. This will not happen. I fail. I'm too far. Okay, fails to impale. And I move the lunges right into it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that seems like oh, and then finish leap. Finish leap is what happens when you don't dodge the leap. Right, so here we're like, so the goblin rams into us, smashes into us. Not sure if this is good writing when the player is on the ground. This definitely doesn't. So that if enemy is not on the ground, basically, so if enemy pose is more than hose on ground. Then we say both of us fall to the ground. This can happen, yes. I'm thinking maybe this. Yes, there's a pain for the torso. Like if someone knocks you, the impact almost knocks me unconscious. Okay, that seems like so we can now, like, the goblin can now leap on us. Let's see how it looks like when we're like load bug. Wow, what's going on? What? Okay, maybe I load bug. Right, still the same problem. Probably, hopefully, no? Yeah, the same problem. Why? Dude, you can't do that now. You leap. You can leap. Just do it, man. So is it applicable for the goblin? He can... he's not blind. I think, no. What? Oh, he needs to have healthy legs? No, he doesn't. For leaping? I mean, yeah. I think he can have just legs. Like, obviously he can't leap if he has crippled legs, but I think if he's just leaping on you, you can just like kind of fall on you, right? Oh, I have a new. Okay, well, let's see. This should fix it. Please. What? Oh. We were at the background. What is going on? No recommendations for Aaron in defense situation. Okay. So now we fix that. So the goblin can jump at us, but we cannot dodge because we're on the ground, and impel leaper also. Cool. So we're getting there, people. Yes. And I can... The goblin jumps at me, I can impale him. I swing the sword between myself and the goblin, and he lunges right into it. The sword goes through his chest and he goes down. He stops moving. Seems good to me. And the other option would be to... well, is to dodge. Let's succeed first. I dodge the goblin and he hits the ground. Cool. And then I can fail at either of those and see what happens. I fail to impel. I try to swing the sword between myself and the goblin, but I'm not fast enough. The goblin smashes into me. The impact almost knocks me out. I grunt in pain. Oh, that's cool. So we have, I think, I should make sure that I save this, as in I commit it. Can leap on enemies on ground. Okay, all right. And then I want to get to chat. So yes. So Benatis has a good point with it's better in general. It's better to have as much data as possible from crash reports. So yeah, totally. And I do have them. And Filip, it says smashes down on or crashes. Thank you. So if we are so we can do this. So if the enemy is above ground, then we just ram into them or smash into them, I guess. And otherwise, we use Filip's subject. I like smashes down on. Smashes down on object, right? Let's see how it looks like. Oh wait. I have to wait until the my builders. So if I fail at dodging, for example, I try to dodge but fail. The goblin smashes down on me. The impact almost knocks me unconscious. I yell in pain. I like it. Yeah, nice. So that's another thing that we can totally commit, improve the message. No, let's just amend. Okay. Cool. So that's one bug off. 13 minutes. Damn, things are so slow. So we wanna. Next up, we want to, when we're blind, we want to make sure that we can actually do stuff. And that stuff would be basically yes, so if you're blind, and that happens a lot with undead, like you'll poke their eyes off, then you will turn them undead, and then they just stand there, and it's not fun, right? So we can actually, one thing is we can do this. Basically, if someone is crippled, they don't have anything, they don't even have fists. If they have crippled leg, or if they are blind, they will just what I say cower, which is basically they will not do anything. And I want to remove that now, as this one especially. So I will not allow you to just cower around, and find out where are the that will obviously break stuff. and then I will find out what would be the best thing to do at this scenario. So let's do that. This one of the cool things about having fuzzy tests is that I can just do this, and maybe I will pretty quickly get, hopefully, I don't know, maybe I will need to help it a little bit. Okay, let's have it run, and I also don't need this bug anymore. Maybe I'll need to wait. I need to just make sure that one of the encounters is because I'm also streaming, so let's not do that. Well, so I don't need this. I will make sure that Aaron, where is the player character? Yeah. Not to builder. How do I do this? Like, I just want to, like, for the purposes of this particular thing, I just want to make the player blind. I could make it into the, so I have this method called humanoid. Build humanoid. I could just say, hey, maybe that's what I'll do. All right. Okay, bool is blind. It's normally false, but wait a minute. Initialize. Okay, so I'll need to add it here as well, which is not fun. You know what? I don't want to do this. To builder. Damn, where do I put this? I basically need to all right, in setup. I need to where's the sorry. Not inflict pain, but execute thrusting hit, for example, and I think that's thrusting word. Deep replace body part is coming from here. Oh, okay. So Yeah, okay. So where's the setup? Here. So that would be actor, player is adject player, and then actor player builder is player to builder, and so that would be right. So that would be player builder, right? No. Oh, actor builder, of course. And then so this, if the part function is body part function vision, which is eyes, then we will we will not sever it. We will merely yeah, disable them. So this will do this, and then this means that build. Okay, this is a little weird just to get us to be blind, but I don't think we are normally going to need this, so it's fine. Maybe we will. I don't know. Okay. Wow. Yes. Yeah. See. So now we have the problem with us being like having 0 options. If I put this back, I will hopefully have 1 option. Damn. No. Okay. Let's debug this. Wait a minute, what? We have 1 implicit action. Okay, we somehow uncovered another action just because we're blind. There's this. Oh, pass while blind, is it? How do I? Okay, let's go to edge blip. Line 422. Yeah. Okay. Oh, what's on? Why aren't you hitting this, my friend? Hey, let's do just play dart. Let's see, not load back. Apply. Right, hopefully that's fine. These are the breakpoints that we added before. What? This is weird. This is a weird crash that like, why am I not seeing it? All right, so now I do. Okay, the first action. What is this? It's interesting. So, okay, so what do we do here? What do we have here? We have a list of 2 performances. One of them is approach action. And the other one is, oh, heal. Okay. Okay, so interesting. So we uncovered a thing with, which is unrelated to what we're trying to do here, but basically, the way things are now is that we are. Yeah, this shouldn't be a. Okay, so we have these implicit actions, which is basically like. There are some times in the game where we are basically taking an action for the player in a way that isn't shown to the player. It's like the continue thing when in many like game books and stuff like that. And so for this to work and for this to catch problems, we are like we're asserting if there is an implicit action, that needs to be the only and single action in this area, right? But the problem is right now for example, at the very start of the game, we have this implicit action of just like go to the next stage, basically, right? Like again, like in a game book, it's like continue to the next part of the book or whatever. There's no option for you. But now, because the player starts with their eyes blinded, they have the option, they have another option, and that is to heal their eyes, right? So we need to somehow make sure that this option is not available for them at that point. And to do that, I think we can actually change a little bit of this. So the only places where you can actually heal is idle rooms. I'm pretty sure, or no? Maybe no. Wait. Where's the heal? Heal action. Heal action over here. Room roaming. And is it available when monsters are left? No. Okay. Do we understand what's when are things? When are we in the so-called danger room, or when we're not? Okay. So let's see. Final situation is this. And situation, current room name. Okay, so sim get room by name is idle. Okay, so yeah, so we can only heal in idle rooms, correct? Actually, no. So I think, yeah, so we have um, the distinction of different kinds of rooms. So one of them is idle versus non-idle. Basically, idle room is like when you're in a village and you can do anything. You can start reading your letters, and you can start like talking to the other characters and stuff like this. And then there's the non-idle room, which is like danger room, which is where let's say you're sneaking through an orc camp. It would be weird to, while you're sneaking through an orc camp, to be just like, like going to sleep there, or talking in normal voice to your other to your party members. So we have that. Healing, I think, is you should be able to do this at any point. So we should have something different, a different flag to the rooms, which says something like, this room is where you shouldn't be able to actually do any action. It's like a synthetic room. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. So in synthetic rooms, your only action is to, like, for example, take implicit approach, I think. Yeah. And we are, by the way, we are... Where are we? Okay, final room. Let's do this again, and so what is the room here? The room is, oh, it's just okay. It is literally like this, like it's not even a room in itself. So maybe we can actually just put it into here. So this is idle. Final bool is synthetic. The room should not allow any actions apart from should not allow normal actions such as healing or talking. The only actions here should be implicit, such as take implicit approach. This is synthetic is false. Okay, that might work, especially because somewhere is pre-start book is synthetic true. See, so this is the pre-start book where this problem emerged. This is a special room that starts every adventure. This is because this is how you tell the game book that where your adventure starts is in pre-start book, and then you can write approaches to other places. Okay. So is synthetic is true. And therefore, we should make sure that when we're finding out what room situation, what actions to take, if we're in a I wonder if we wanna just do this first. So if the room if room is synthetic, then return false. Okay, let's see. Oh, cool. I think okay, yeah, that's fine. That works for me. So we have finally gotten us to have no eyes, and so like we can now start a random encounter or heal our eyes or go anywhere. Now let's start a random encounter and see, like, I'm holding a spear, a goblin is standing in front of me wielding a spear, which like I would not know, but whatever. And between the two of us, an ordinary knife lies on the wet ground. Okay, whatever. I also notice a nice solid rock. In any case, the only thing I can do is cover because I'm blind. But again, with all the undead going around and the ability to poke others' eyes, I think it makes more sense to be able to just have them do something, not just stand around. Right? Yeah. Oh man, I'm forgetting about the chat. This may be out of scope, like all things that I say. This is Vanathos, by the way. Oh, and by the way, Filip is saying, I think blind would cover, thresh around, and take time to listen. Yes. So cover will keep. Thresh around is basically what I had in mind. Like you want the goblin that you just poked out. You don't want them to kind of like just stand there. They should thresh around and that have a small possibility of hitting someone. Taking time to listen, I like. That would mean that might make the next attack from them like better, or like their defense as well. That's good. So yeah, I had the blind swing, which is basically what Filip says is thresh around, but also take time to listen. Maybe increases chances. I don't think I will. Now that I think of it, it's one of those things that would be cool, but also happen so few times. Like they do happen, but not that often, and they almost never happen to the player themselves, thankfully. So I don't think I will actually have the time to introduce this, but we'll see. Manifest. So Venethus is asking, is it possible to the player to self-inflict damage? For example, if there are many enemy Medusa type that will add status to a player, maybe he can decide to blind himself. Wow. And also, if the player is blind, are you thinking of changing how you tell the story? Yeah. Yeah. For example, are you thinking of something like the player hears footsteps around him getting closer and closer? Um, yeah. I think that's amazing. I think that would be really hard to pull off. So I'm pretty sure for the first game in gamebook series, I guess, if there's a series, that's probably not something that I want to do. But later, um, that's definitely, like, I want to really simulate. So like if you're blind, you can totally go through the whole world being blind, and it will render in the way that you should. Um, the easier kind of way out for me right now is like, yeah, if you're blinded in a fight, you will be able um, to somehow like figure out what to do, and maybe like win or to get out of the fight. That's fine, and I can even yeah, that's fine. But then if you are out of a fight, and you have blinded eyes, you will have the possibility to heal, and I basically will gate it to anything else, right? So you're a necromancer, you're like the highest level of healer, you can heal your own eyes. Uh, I think you should. And then basically until you do, you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. So it's kind of a forced choice, but it makes my life way easier. Okay. John is happy to finally catch a live stream. Yay! Thanks, John. He's watching on his phone. Not the best experience. Anyway, well, hope your laptop is gonna get better. Yeah, Vanathis is like, oh no, so many singletons. So it's actually, where did you see it? Was it in here? Yeah. So this is not the probably. Let's talk about computer science here. So singletons are like definitely not something that you wanna have normally, right? Singleton is basically where you're saying, hey, this class should only ever be available in one instance, which is like, why do you even have a class then? You normally want to be able to like say, hey, like I want to like mark this and create a new instance of a class, blah blah blah. The thing is, all the actions are, even though they are classes, because I like how classes force me to implement some methods and stuff like this. Actions in this game are stateless, basically bags of behavior. Like there is no state in a class at all, and it is just a bag of functions, as you can see here, right? So, and the functions are pure, and the functions are, I mean, are they? I mean, they're pure in that they will only touch the things that will go into them, so they're probably not pure. But anyway, they will definitely don't have any side effects apart from these things here, like context and the object, right? or here, like get role reason, definitely a pure function that will not do anything to anything. And I can give that, I can make sure that they are pure because actor is immutable, simulation is immutable, world state is immutable, and objects are immutable. So like yes, and I chose to say this is a singleton because that's how you call the single instance of a class. But I could have just as well said I don't know, something else. But you know, I could just also say, you know what, like construct a new member of the class for every situation from scratch. But that to me seemed a little bit wasteful. So I just have singleton. Anyway, so yes, that's why we have singletons all over the place. One place where it's the most pronounced is fight situation, where you have all these things. See, like I'm actually constructing that some of these things because they will. I have a generator for these, so not I don't need the singletons, but yeah. Anyway, Manus is like okay. Yes, when you're blind, you can wait forever, and that's not fun. So let's actually implement some of the thrashing around. So now we can see that cowering is an option. Let's keep it as an option. I like it. You can just totally cower and not do anything, but you can also. It is weird though. Like if there's maybe you should be able to cover as a player, but not others. We'll see. First, we need to have like a thresh around action, which would be over here. Oh, and I should probably commit the synthetic thing. No. Okay. So add is synthetic to rooms. Okay. All right. So thresh around. Let's do this. New action. Thresh around. Should we just allow it to for the blind combatants? Yeah, maybe. So blind dart, and this would be okay. How could this be an action that actually makes anything harder for the others? Probably. Yeah, so it needs to be a defensive action, which is a lot more work than just thrashing around, to be honest. Yeah, I wanna say this is gonna be, for now, it's gonna be just an action that you can do to kind of like not just cover and not do anything, but it should not. Actually, this could be good for undead as well, because undead currently they can like jump at you and try to bite you. They obviously can use weapons, but it would be nice to have something like, yeah, just basically something like yeah, swinging around with their hands. Is that a thing? Let's see. Quality YouTube content, this people. I think we should totally. Yeah, I think we should totally just make this not something that you can actually change the world with. Because I've. Okay, one last tangent. So, some of you know I have this handy little thing where I'm like, oh, what are the things that I can be working on, right? And I also always find out, or like I say, okay, how many days will it take me? How cool is it? As in like how big of an improvement to the game it will be. And then there's a ratio, and then I can like and also I can see if it's necessary for actually shipping the game or not. And then I can yeah, I can sort things and be like, yeah, I should probably first implement saving and loading, and then do things like I don't know, working, right? The thing is, recently I looked at this was actually last Friday. I looked at this and said, okay, I've been doing this since August, and so therefore my assumptions on what things will take can be compared to what actually it took me to do these things. And so I found out that I'm underestimating myself or overestimating the cost of these things by about half. So so when I say 5 here, it normally basically means that I will do it in half 2.5 days. If I say 1 here, it will probably just take me 1/2 of the day, right? So that's cool, but it also means because I don't have I don't have weeks, like I have only 1 day a week to work on this. That brings me to this, where I'm like, this is the cumulative number of days it will take me. This is what it will take me when I use the like overestimate, like when I basically divided by 2, and then this is when this will happen, right? And so this basically says it's kind of sad that even if I just want to do like the easiest, I mean the most necessary things, this brings me to March 7th. So I will have to look really really badly at this. The reason why, for example, blind swing arms is here is because it is just weird when you have so many like if you have so often someone is blind and then they're just stand there and you don't know why. So this will, I think it deserves the badge of like it's necessary for shipping. But all these other cool things that I should be doing, I'm not gonna do that because or most of them I'm not gonna do it unless I realize, okay, this is like definitely a must, right? Because like, look at this. I could be doing this for until July 14th next year. Not the next year, actually. The 2 years from now. Is that true? Yeah. I'm hoping that. Oh. Hope. It's YouTube tells me that YouTube tells me that the stream is bad. So I'm sorry if that's happening. I hope that you're still seeing me and hearing me. Anyway. So yeah, as I was saying, this is super useful. It is super depressing, and I'm glad that I did this. Basically, kind of like looking at my own personal project as a thing to product manage. Yeah. So yeah, all these cool ideas, not in this one. Okay. Okay, some slowdowns in the video. Cool. Good. All right, so where was I? Yes, this is so this is kind of terrible, and let's not do too much with this. So thresh around will be a thing. Thresh around blind. Yep, not much else you can do at this point. And this will definitely be seen by anyone else. So thresh is around. Around sure success, and only for blind, and then cowering, probably will just remove that. Wow, that was easy. let's see. That is definitely less than I was had in my hand, but let's see how it looks like. So random encounter, I'm barehanded. Oh, okay. Waiting is okay. Or threshing around is an option. Right? That's cool. And I should add it to actual actions that I can do. That's what was missing. So that would be fight situation. Now has phase around. Okay, so if we play again and we do a random encounter, I can thresh around. I can also wait. Oh, okay. See a logic problem. Yeah. Too fast. I'm wielding a small thresh around. They all want to stand there. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I growl and pull the sword out, falls into the ground. I can stand up, and I can still thresh around until the orc. Why is the orc throwing swords at me? Why is not? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So we have this. So implemented thresh around. It's good to always commit at any point. So implement thresh around blind. I can also say blindly thrashes around. Yeah, all right. And amend. Okay. That's probably good. Now, how does it look like when the goblin is thrashing around? So let me remove this change where I made the player unseeing. So discard. Actually, I want to stash it. I stash this. Damn. Oh. Okay, just discard. All right. So now I'm fine, but the encounter random encounter. And I want to make everyone I want the goblin to be You know what? I'll just implement this in. Okay, so now we have bool is blind equals false, and is blind, and bool is blind equals false. And then where are the eyes? Left eye. Hit points is blind. 0, otherwise 1. Right eye is blind. 0, otherwise 1. Okay. Now we want the goblin. We just want the goblin to be blind now. For now, so is blind is true, right? And I think random encounter, yeah. So we should see in the random encounter, we should see now it's not so random, and we should, a goblin stands in front of me and he's blind. Cool, good. I'm wielding a sword, so I can like wait. The goblin blinded thirsts around. Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, that's cool. So I can totally just stab his torso. And that's that. All right, and a counter, you win. Cool. So this is, wait a minute. Yeah, we don't need this. And also we don't. Yep. So now no more blind goblins. Hopefully. Yeah, cool. I think that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this one. At least it seems much nicer when the when the goblin is blind. Cool. I will say that implement is blind in actor constructor. That's will probably be useful, and that's that. Okay, let's see. Vanathos, one question. I can't remember if blind necromancers can still have the action to raise the undead or not. They can, because you won the big Twitter poll of the century. I think, where do we have it? What's it called? Raise that. Raise that. Yeah, it is possible. If you're the player, because the player is currently the only necromancer, and if you're not already followed by an undead, then you can totally raise that. This is because I don't want the player to be followed by 100 undeads, right? You can only have one undead as for now. One question. Yes. So, but other than hearing, if you have a companion or if an enemy is killed, how do you know that you can raise them? Well, it's just there in your options. I'm not sure if that's answering your question. So I'll wait until you answer. These things, the stream has a delay, so I have no idea when, and I don't know if it's like a minute or probably less, but I don't know how long. Cool. So we did one thing today. No, we did more, but this is, I consider it done. Let's see. This actually will show us that right now March 7 is the date, and now March 4th. Cool. We're actually making progress here. So next up is, and this is something that I need to do now, is saving and loading. And I know that saving and loading will probably not happen in the next 20 minutes. But I'll do it anyway, and I'll start working on it. This I kind of prepended this with the blind swinging and stuff because it seems to me a little more interesting because I can talk about poking out eyes and stuff like this. Saving and loading is not something that you normally think about. Like, game development is not about that. Most game development you want to do is about the action, but as you can see, saving and load is totally ship necessary. We need to make sure that it's easy and fun. Fun. It's easy to save and load, and I do have that functionality, but I haven't touched or seen it for many months. So I want to kind of delve in, and I'll walk you through it, and then probably off the record I will implement the actual saving and loading in the app. Right, I have saving and load. As you can see here, I can be like load slave quarters, I think is the quarters, and then I get immediately I can load from there, right? But that's not available for the player in the game. I want to maybe it's interesting to show you how it looks like now, because this is where I'll be working now. That showing the save load functionality needs to work there more than anywhere else. Right, so I will run this, and this will take some time, especially while I'm also streaming, so sorry for that. Still have coffee, so that's good. And yeah, the health of the stream is good. 4 people are watching right now. Nice. Or maybe not now. Maybe at some point, looks like. But anyway, I'm humbled that people are even logging on, and I'm obviously super happy that Venathos and Filip and Jean are all you're actually interacting with me, so I don't feel like I'm the only person doing anything, and I don't feel, how do you call it, alone. Okay, so this is the game as it looks like now. You have this, you can do this random encounter. Let's do this. There's some kind of revealing text. I may make it a little more fast and less smooth, I don't know yet. And then this is the things that you can do, right? So it can be confused and so on. Not there yet. It's still kind of clunky and so on, and obviously there's not many things that you can do here. There will be, hopefully, you should be able to see what your quests are, maybe see what you have in your inventory, and so on. There's, by the way, one thing that I definitely need to figure out is that the orcs and the goblins tend to just way too much hurl swords. They were just they have their swords and they just throw it at each other and at me, and that's just crazy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I have some more chats. But the game saving is, in this case, is interesting because there are so many variables. And yes. How are you gonna save it? A local file? Yeah. Okay. So Vanathis is asking. Sorry, I needed to make sure that I'm reading the like I understand what the question is about. But basically, Vanathis is like, what? How do you save the game? What, like, there are so many variables. Well, the cool thing about this game is that my implementation of the game is that basically all the state in this game is this is in the vault state. So that's here, right? Wait, world state. Oh, okay. So world state is like this class is actually not that huge, but it has all the other things in it, and it's immutable and it's serializable. So I can just ask, hey, please put this huge thing into one like large JSON almost kind of, and then just anything below world state, like actors have their inventory has these items have its like little things, and so all of this is a huge tree that comes with one's world state at the very top. Yeah, and I'm gonna save it as either probably a database or a local file, because yes, as you can say, as you correctly say, this is too big for just like saving in shared preferences or something like that. Yes. Oh yeah, and hi Sachihiro. I haven't seen you around, so cool that you're waving. It's cool to have people watching. All right, so this is how it looks like now, and what I want to do is I want to be able to be like, you know what, I want it to not confuse but do something else, and click here and load from there. There could be also the other option is that I could have like a loading screen here, like basically instead of restart, or as well as restart, it could say load, and that would what would that do? It would, like, I think at first at least it would just tell you what to do. Basically you would like click load and it would say, did you know that you can scroll up and click on one of these things and it will just reload. It's probably the best, because I could make like a whole loading screen thing where I save what you know. That's just not great. So let's not do that. So all I need to do now is make sure that these are tappable and that they reload the thing from that point on. Right? Yes. Well, actually, we can leave the things that are upwards from there. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, and we have 15 minutes, so that's not great. So I guess I'm switching to developing the client, or do I need something from here? Thing is, like, if you look at how I'm playing from the command line, what this does is anytime there's a choice block, which is what I call these things. Not this one, actually. This is just so not this one. I need to, that's also on my list. Wow, a lot of things happening. So these are choice blocks, and with the choice block, the game also takes the save game, right? So that's that. So I don't think I need to do anything here. Oh, how do I load? So that will be also here if I have a load. Save game is a word. Save game is definitely a word. Come on. So this will just take the file and then put it into save game serialized. Okay, so the edgehead game needs edgehead game has the save game serialized, and if it is not null, it will decode it. Oh, look at that. It just says the world is now this. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, that's actually much easier than I thought. So I can just focus on this one. There are more chats. Sure, I watched tensor programming regularly for Flutter and other topics, and the boring show, of course. I wasn't aware that you do streaming too, but I'm happy that you are streaming. Thank you. Yes, streaming is fun and a little nerve-wracking sometimes, but it's very rewarding after the fact as well, always. Manifest is saying, are you saying we can load any action? So if you have 1,000 actions in your gameplay, you'd have to save the state of every action. Why not only the previous one plus the one before a set piece? Yes, so Manifest is action, like any action can be reloaded. Well, that depends on, theoretically yes, but that would be a lot of data that you save. So what I want to have is like rotating. Basically, only the last 10 actions are always, or maybe 20, I don't know, but like some amount of actions are being able to be reloaded, and after that you have to restart. I think in most cases 10 to 20 actions is probably all you need. Even if you really screw up somewhere, you will just go back. And this is not the kind of game where you should be this is not the kind of game where you're like, I have to go 2 hours back to take something, like I'm not gonna make it that hard. Cool. Yeah, so the game has something I call Flutter Runner, which is a presenter, which is actually something that is coming from gamebook. Presenter is basically like the abstraction for anything that shows the book and like lets players interact with it, or the gamebook. And so in here we have the add choice block thing, and we can totally save the game. Oh, we actually already do that. Cool. Latest save game serialized. Right. So we're saving it with a block element. That's good. What happens when we what happens when the player clicks send choice? So I mean, obviously we tell the block to like pick the choice, but initial choice. Right, we're actually remove the active choice block element from the elements. So elements are the things that you see in this book one after another. So this is an element, this is an element. And instead, we append a used choice block element. So like if I do this and then this and let's do that. See, like that happened just now, and I need to make some kind of transitions there and stuff like this. But oh man, this is gonna I'm curious what's gonna happen here. I jump at the goblin and tries to shoot the spear. Oh, I succeeded. Okay. I smash down on him. Nice. The orc grabs him by his the right hand. Oh, a bug, and rams it to the muddy ground. The goblin drops the spear. The orc takes hold of it. The goblin tries to crawl out of harm's way. Yeah, I made them fight each other. That's cool. Okay, so I want to have the save game here. Choice block. What does choice block have? Just choices. Oh, also the save game? That is cool. So the choice block already has a save game. So we can totally. Or is there a padding here? Oh, okay. We can. We can say like if you tap on it, then we should probably show we should show that you're gonna be loading this. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I wonder if we need an icon or something there. All right, let's just do the easiest thing imaginable. So Rabbit new widget inkwell on tap, and then runner. Do I have access to the runner from here? Probably not. Right, so he use choice block element needs a runner as well. Runner is there a load? No, unfortunately not. initialize. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think maybe I will create a new load. Using the element choice block. Yeah, and then that means I will need to. Where are we actually constructing the book? Yeah, but where are we? Dude, where is the... Oh. So edit book page and runner. Oh, I need to initialize it with a new edit game. Okay. Why don't I see this? Oh, okay. This is into superclass. Anyway, oh, okay. I can see that that I'm not making any sense probably, and also this is not fun to watch. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'm gonna read through the rest of the things. So are you saying that we can load any? Oh, yeah, okay. I went through that. Thank you for the pass from me and adding safe game each block. Yes, exactly. I am thankful for actually thinking ahead in this and making sure that every choice block has a safe game. I actually needed it for the web prototype that I had, which you can still find in one of these. When you go here, I think it was possible to load things from there, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Is my network connection? No, it's not. It's not working. All right. Once again, thank you everyone for watching and for being helpful, because I love that how I can, actually get some feedback immediately for things like how do I implement this and so on and so forth, for asking good questions, because that will always that always makes me think more deeply about these things. And today we did the thrashing around action, which is great. We fixed crashing bug. What else is there actually? Let me pull up the comments from today. So you can leap on enemies on the ground now, and that's fine. We also fixed a bug with like we added the ability to have rooms that are synthetic, in which things like healing do not work, and thrashing around, and and we can now construct actors that are blind from the get-go. And now I'm looking and pretty deep into getting saving and loading done, which means that the 5 days that I have here may be less than 5 days, and that means that this date where I'm actually releasing the game may be sooner than March 4th, 2020. And maybe I will be able to actually have more things that are not super ship necessary, but still would be super cool, like working, for example, or hazards during fight, or blah, many things. Cool. Once again, thanks, and see you in 14 days or 2 weeks, unless anything changes. Cool, and cheers. Bye.